So, okay. I don't I look at myself and I don't think that I'm like ugly, right? I wouldn't say that I'm ugly, right?
You're not ugly.
I look at myself and I'm like, okay, like average, maybe above average. The glasses work for me. I got
Yeah,
dark
those are good.
eyebrows. I like it, right?
Yep.
Maybe I'm a little overweight. I could work on that, but that's something I can change, right? Okay? I don't have like a complex about it or anything, right?
Sure.
But on my flight home from Thanksgiving, I was in Colorado for Thanksgiving, visiting my sister. Shout out, Kay. And actually, your sister was there.
The double K.
Double K. So that's fun.
Yeah. I could have been there, but we didn't.
He could have, but we'll figure something out.
We'll be there eventually.
Yeah. I'm coming home. I'm on the flight Southwest. Shout out Southwest. The economy, the poor man's flight. It's a great airline. One of the best. They have you don't have assigned seats, right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
You get your order in which you board, and then you choose your seat from there. So I'm an A. I'm a beast. I got TSA pre-check, okay? I'm out here in these streets, all right?
He flies planes all the time. He knows what's up.
And so I get A40, something like that. Like, not the best board, but like early enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm in like row 15, maybe. Okay? And I sit in the window, put these headphones on, noise canceling.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to mind my business. I don't smell bad. I'm not hideous to look at, right?
Right.
I'm just sitting there. I'm not going to talk to you, right? Great. I wouldn't mind having the seat next to me open, right?
Right.
I'm close to the front. They're good seats next to me. I'm not taking up a bunch of space. I'm quiet. I'm leaning away. I'm not going to bother you. It's prime real estate.
Where's this going?
How is it going to be
Oh no.
that the last two spots on this plane, full flight, every seat taken.
Yeah.
How is it going to be that the last two seats left are the two seats next to me?
Oh boy.
Okay? Never in my life have I thought of myself as like, oh my gosh, I see him. I don't want to be near him.
Yes.
Right? But when every single person on a plane walks past you and says, not sitting there, something in me just couldn't handle that.
Oh,
I was so disappointed. I was like, I'm wearing a hoodie. I must be just disheveled, disgusting human being for every single person to walk past me. Until, Chad, who is wearing a hoodie and sweatpants, has his noise canceling headphones on, sits next to me.
There you go.
We don't speak at all. It's chill.
There you go.
But I was just a little bummed to watch every single person on the plane walk by me.
Dang.
At one point, the flight attendant is standing in my row, monitoring things as they do. And that's how you know she's like, ain't nobody sitting here. I can stand right here in the way, and everybody can just walk right by.
Oh, man.
No problem. So
they had a personal vendetta against you.
They really did. The whole flight.
Wow. I
didn't even fart for the whole 3 hours in that plane. Ridiculous.
You could have, I'm sure. He was holding one in the entire time.
Maybe
he was.
In other news, welcome to Quarter Twins, the podcast where the only podcast.
This is the only one.
This is the only podcast.
Yeah.
Where 2 quarters make $1.
That's right.
We're valuable people. We're valuable humans, and we value our own opinions.
Yes.
I am Joshua. This, of course, is Jordan.
Hello.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's great to be
Spotify
here.
Wrapped. Is out. Okay, it's my intro this week. I'm gonna freaking I'm doing it.
We're moving.
All right. Spotify Wrapped came out this week, and I'm not a Spotify user. I'm an Apple Plus. That's not accurate. I'm an Apple Music consumer, listener, which is apparently, according to my sister, one of the greatest sins a human can commit. I don't really know why they're the same.
I guess. I've never used Apple Music, so
here's the thing for me, right? I didn't know there was a difference or like a problem with either service. When I got my first iPhone, there was a music app. I was like, oh, this is the one. Let me use this.
Yep.
I knew that Spotify existed, but my sister used iTunes and paid $1.99 or whatever for every individual song back in the day. Right? So I was like, oh, this is way better. I pay $5 a month because I'm a student, and we're Gucci. I don't get that deal anymore because I was unable to verify.
Because you're not a student anymore.
Because I'm literally not a student. I graduated from college with a degree.
Yep. You're a grown man. You got to pay for your Apple Music full price.
Yeah.
Because you have a career now because you have a degree.
Yeah, sure.
Because that's how it works here in America.
Guaranteed. And so, regardless, we use Anchor.fm to
you've heard of
publish
it.
and produce and distribute our podcast.
We do.
Which is a fantastic tool you can use for free. This isn't even in the ad.
We could make it the ad. We can make it the ad right now.
We could make this the ad if you wanted to.
Yeah.
That's great. And so Anchor's owned by Spotify. And so our system is integrated into the Spotify Wrapped podcast section.
Yep.
So we as creators get some stats from you guys. So we have some stats for you now. Do we? I didn't pull anything up.
I mean, I know where they are.
Yeah. I think our
most listened to episode was our first one, so that's good.
Yeah,
that's not.
If you look at the data, it actually goes like this.
Yeah, we're trending downward.
We're
sure.
just steadily falling off.
Steadily stepping down.
As
it's fine.
It's great.
It's because everybody.
We're not stopping.
All of our friends and family were like, well, we'll check out this, our friends, Jordan and Josh, we'll check out their podcast for the first episode. And then half of them were like, not for me. Stopped listening altogether. And then we've lost like half of that since then. But, that's okay. We're going to build back up.
We're working on it. We'll get the social media. I think that's going to be part of season 2. We'll slowly be building up our brand.
Yep.
It's very exciting. One of the biggest ones that I saw on the stats. Hello, Mom.
Hello.
Wow, Starbucks. From Mom.
Shout out to Starbucks coming in.
Mom. Was that a peppermint mocha right now?
Let's find out.
Or just a hot chocolate?
It smells like a peppermint hot chocolate.
It's going to be a peppermint
I'm not
something.
a coffee. Yeah. I'm not a coffee drinker.
I feel like you'd like a peppermint mocha from Starbucks.
That's a peppermint hot chocolate if I've ever tasted one.
Wow, look at that.
We used
just gonna move right past that.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
No worries, Mom. You're great. Thank you for the hot chocolate. I asked for it. I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
We created in our year, starting April 1st. So even the first 3 months, we didn't even exist.
Didn't
yet.
Exist.
We created 2,491 minutes or something like that of new content.
Something like that, yeah.
And it was more than 91% of other podcast creators in the TV and film category.
Yes.
Which means only 9% of other TV and film creators are out here in hitting these numbers.
That's right.
Okay? Nobody does it like us. And we're going to be doing it better. We're aiming for the top spot. Okay?
Yeah.
Next year, we're making more content than anyone else in the
Yeah.
TV and film category. 5 episodes a week. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. The other statistic that I sent you, we are a top 10 podcast for 38 of you, a top 5 podcast for 31 of you, and a number 1 podcast for 12 of you, which is honestly a lot.
That's pretty hype.
To be a number 1 podcast. We might be the only podcast you listen to, but that doesn't matter. We still listen, and we're your top podcast.
And for those, what is it? 38 people were in the top 10?
Yeah.
So that's 38 people who listen to enough podcasts that they have 10 podcasts.
Yeah.
At least.
And we're in there.
And we're in there.
What?
So that's cool.
We
too.
be there. Yeah.
Even if that means, they listen to 11 podcasts and they listened to ours once and it was longer than the 11th one.
Yeah.
That they watched, and they only watched one episode of like 6 podcasts or something, and they all tied, but we were a longer episode. It doesn't matter to me. Okay, we were there. We create the content. You guys are listening to it. At least 38 people, individuals, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's cool. Plus, some people are carpooling, like
across
my parents.
5 countries, apparently.
Yeah.
We're big in Australia, so.
We are. Less than 1%.
Less than 1%.
That's hype.
That is hype.
So, we just want to thank you guys sincerely for our first year. It's not even done yet, but
no, yeah.
We have some things planned we'll talk about at the end of the episode.
Ah, yes.
And yeah, we're still here. We're still grinding. We missed a week. Thanksgiving. We're gonna give ourselves a pass for that one.
Yep.
I didn't want to pack an entire desk worth of technology because I'm not recording another episode on that laptop unless I absolutely have to. That's the thing. Yeah. I think if the fan probably has like 10 more rotations in it before it dies. So
yeah, I feel
Mm-hmm.
So,
all right. In the last week that we missed, things have occurred. Events have transpired.
Yes.
Okay.
Indeed.
First thing, on a personal note, well, not really personal, on a worldwide scale.
Oh.
The World Cup has been literally the opposite.
Is it personal? This is personal.
Well, personal because I like it and I'm watching it.
I see.
And it's not necessarily related to film and this podcast.
Right.
The World Cup has been going on.
Yep.
Which is a soccer tournament for people who don't know, if there is anyone. And the U.S. is in it. They're involved. And they made it out of the first round by the skin of their teeth.
Yep.
They pulled it together with a win over Iran.
Iran, yes.
And we're playing the Netherlands next.
Yeah.
Which is on Saturday. It's exciting. It's a fun thing. I've been watching almost every match I can. I'm missing currently actively sacrificing watching the Brazil game right now.
There are weird times of day, man. It's in the morning.
Yeah,
it's like
7 and 11
yeah.
right now. Whatever. It's all the way in
most
Qatar.
of America doesn't care about soccer, so they don't.
Yeah, we're not the prime time.
Not prime time
area.
Yeah.
That's okay.
It's unfortunate.
Regardless, it's been fun. A lot of soccer to watch. A lot of good soccer.
Yeah.
Which is really great. So I've been having fun enjoying that. Also happened. The finale of Andor happened since last we spoke. So that's gonna have to be something we're gonna have to talk about right now. So why don't you say some words?
I should, just so everybody, you can hear my voice sounds different because I'm losing my voice and I've had a cold. So if I sound weird, that's why. And I'll probably cough and sniffle a lot. So that's fun. Maybe a sneeze here and there. Who knows? It's fine.
For the audio listeners,
we are thriving over here. Anyway, Andor's 12th episode came out last week, right? Was it last week or 2 weeks ago?
It was last week.
It was last week? And it was pretty good. It was pretty good, man. We had our reservations we didn't know for sure if there was going to be a second season, so we were like, if this doesn't wrap up well, we're not really a fan of that. But there is going to be a second season. And it does definitely end in a cliffhanger-y spot.
Mm-hmm.
Not like things are resolved, but it definitely is like it. I had mixed feelings about it because the climax of the show is very character driven. Like Andor has an entire character arc, and that's kind of the finale of the show. There's not like there is like a big battle sequence that happens in
Mm-hmm.
Ferrix, but like that's not really the main thing that's happening. Or it is the main thing that's happening, but like um the trying to like when you look at this first season as it stands, when you're trying to decide like what is the point of this season, um the point of this season is getting Andor from a place where at the beginning of the series he doesn't really want anything to do with the rebellion. He agrees to do this mission so that he can get money and then leave. Like he hates the Empire, but he's not going
Mm-hmm.
to join this like fight for
Suicide
life,
mission.
suicide mission type thing. He doesn't want to devote his life to it because he's seen whoever does that just gets killed anyway or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So we take him from there to at the end of the series where he has essentially lost everything. His home has been destroyed by the Empire. He loses his mother. They torture the crap out of his friend Bix, and she's not the same person anymore. And so he has lost everything, and he sees that Luthen is there, and he knows that Luthen is going to try to kill him because he knows things about him. And so he goes to Luthen and he gives him a gun, and he's like, dude, just freaking kill me or let me join your rebellion because I don't care any about. He no longer has anything to live for other than this rebellion because he's lost
Mhm.
everything. The Empire has taken everything from him, and he would rather die than do anything else but take the Empire down, which we know he eventually does in Rogue One, which is great.
Helps.
Which now is like, I don't necessarily feel like I need to go watch Rogue One right now, but when I do, like we know more about Cassian now, and we know why he's in
Right.
this fight, which
it's
is
gonna
good.
feel better.
Because we didn't know anything about him in Rogue One other than he's been in this fight since he was 6 years old. But now
Right.
we know what that actually means.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it was a good finale, and I'm psyched for season 2. The show it's perfect. I have no real like negatives to it other than things that we've talked about before. The marketing and the name of the show I think is really bad.
Right.
Which we can talk about more later when we talk about this movie, which was not marketed well at all either.
Oh my gosh.
And there are reasons for that, I'm sure. But yeah, there are minor things like that and whatever. But aside from that, it's the best thing on Disney Plus, and it probably will be for a long time.
Huh.
It's the best thing from Star Wars in a long time. There is something else new on Disney Plus that I have not watched, but it looks pretty good.
Oh snap!
We'll talk about it later, I guess.
I'll have to tell you all about it later.
Yeah. What did you think of the finale? The final.
The finale. I really, really liked it. I think it helped resolve a lot of my issues with where things are going.
Yeah.
I think right now, like I said it last week, how if this show is long and has more than 2 seasons, which sounds like this second season is going to be the last one.
Yeah, I don't think they're making any more.
Then we'll see how I feel at the end. I think right now you just watch the season. It's hype. It's live. We're here for it. Everyone on Twitter that we follow is like, this is the greatest TV show ever. It's the best thing on Disney Plus. Blah 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 blah. Right? 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. 100% audience score. Like everyone who is watching this show is loving this show.
Eating it up.
Yep. Right? I continue to fear that the long term of this show will be like the rewatchability for this show for me is, I don't know if I can watch this again, because like it's the same with the final season of Clone Wars, where the Bad Batch part and the other part with the sisters are like
I'm never watching those again.
So much worse than the 4 Darth Maul Mandalorian episodes that I'll never touch those 8 episodes again.
I will never watch those.
And
so lame.
Not that any episode in Andor is bad in any way, right? Each little arc is great, but I don't think I can just watch them all in a row again.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I go back to Clone Wars, I watch Umbara, 4 episodes.
Yeah.
I watch Water War, 4 episodes. I watch Rookies and the ARC Troopers episode that's like 6 seasons later or something.
Yeah.
I'll pick out what I'm feeling in that moment. Like, oh, I want to watch the prison arc from Andor. I'll watch those 3 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Or I want to watch Aldani. I'll watch those 3 episodes. And you can have those little pieces, which is great. But if I'm marketing this show to a friend that hasn't seen it, how do I even explain the plot of the show? There's 4 plots that also have this like underlying rebellion versus empire theme. It's not really like, and the whole thing with Andor's sister is not resolved at all.
Yeah, that was weird to me. They mentioned it in the first minute of the first episode and then literally never again. So
there was one time weird. Marva was like, you gotta let it go.
Oh, yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah, I don't know.
And it was just like, I don't know, that felt like a weird thing. Maybe in season 2 we can bring it up. Yeah. I don't, if she's just dead and we have to accept that, that's fine. Mm-hmm. But I'd like for that loose thread to not be so loose, Yeah. It just seems a little weird with everything else that happens in the show being so perfect.
Yeah, it's weird because Cassian doesn't really, I feel like he doesn't have very many lines. Like, he doesn't talk a lot, especially in, the prison arc. He doesn't say much because he can't. But he doesn't get a lot to say. Like, you get a lot from Daedra and Marva and Luthen and Saw Gerrera and all of those people. Mm-hmm. But Cassian's just kind of there doing stuff, which is fine. Which is another reason I don't think it should be called Andor, because he is the central character, but he's not the only character that we're following. There are all of these plot threads that we're following in equal amount to the rest. Mm-hmm. I would say we're following these people equally. I was kind of Cyril didn't get a finale that I wanted him to get. He rescues Daedra from these people, and then they stare at each other in a closet for a second, and then it's over. And I was like, oh, all right. Because he had the entire, he was in the first 3 episodes, and then he spent the rest of the show just sitting in his mom's house, I'm going to get this guy. And then he gets to the last episode, and nothing happens with him. And I was like, oh, all right. That's kind of a bummer. But
I think I would argue that he should have died in that fight.
I agree, yeah. Maybe I think he should have had a confrontation with Cassian where he kills him or something.
I think part of the character is a very literal, this is a guy who has control problems. He needs to feel control, or he loves power and seeing people with power, and is okay with being told exactly what to do. Mm-hmm. And so he simps for Daedra and this Empire girl, right? And he finds she's the only reason he's still alive and hasn't given up. He's chasing this girl now. And so I feel like his existence is a example of what can happen to people in America if they just spend all their time on the internet.
Yeah.
Right? And they fall down the rabbit hole, and oh my gosh. They fall down the rabbit hole and just end up doing something stupid, right? And so I think it's important for a character like that to not have a resolution or even a positive ending.
Yeah.
And so I would have liked him to he just dies. He doesn't accomplish anything.
Yeah.
and that's the end.
And there's a
just
second
have that
season,
be
so I'm
like
sure
a
that will
sad,
happen.
disappointing failure, right?
Yeah.
Because that way of thinking and that sad descent into madness is unsafe and bad for people.
And I like that about it. Like, I liked the idea of like a weird kind of terrifying romance between two insanely evil people.
Mhm.
Like they have this weird, like, he's stalking her, and it's like she acts like she doesn't want anything to do with him, but then at the like they kind of have this like moment in a closet where they're like
Stare. I should say
a
thank
little
you.
stare. It's like, I like how gross it is and how like uncomfy it is. Like, I think
Yeah.
that was really unique. Like, and it gives you something to like, we're not just watching stormtroopers, like these are people who have reasons for being in the Empire, and it's more than just stormtroopers running around all the time.
Right. The stormtroopers don't really do anything in this show.
No, and I kind of like that. I like seeing other
Yeah.
things. But what a great show! I mean, I'll
really good.
rewatch it at some point. But
Yeah, I think obviously we're still like raw, like it just happened.
Yeah.
Right. And so over time, I'm sure I'll be able to rewatch it and enjoy it. I just like, I don't think I'll ever watch the first 3 episodes again. And they were really, really great.
Yeah.
But they just set up Aldani, and then Aldani just sets up the next arc, and like everything that happens doesn't really matter. I know what happened, right? So I can just watch the prison arc and the last 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Because those are actually good. Right?
Everything's
on
good,
their own.
man.
I mean,
everything is great.
Everything is good.
Yeah.
Just like, if I'm gonna watch it again, I could skip the first half.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll probably watch it. I'm pumped to watch it all again. But
over time, I'm sure.
My favorite part of finale was when the bell tower guy gets to kick a stormtrooper off it.
That was awesome.
I was like, yeah, bell tower guy.
Bell
hammers.
guy.
He's my favorite character. Yeah.
I did also really, really enjoy seeing the Empire lose and having it focus on all of these humans that we've watched, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like the guy who took over, Ferrix, is yelling and screaming. He falls on the ground, is like almost trampled. They have to pull him through the riot wave.
Mm-hmm.
And Dedra is almost trampled and killed. And you like see the fear on these people.
Yeah.
And of course, right, this is the whole reason that they are this controlling fascist regime.
Yeah.
Is that they fear what the people who stand against them are capable of. And so they use the power that they do have to control everything they possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was nice to see that this rebellion, the beginning of one, is proof that it works.
Yeah.
At least on the individual, right? You always have the next highest guy on the table, right? Until you get to the Emperor.
Yeah.
But they talk so much about the small little cells not being able to do anything, and how they all need to get together and band together, make the alliance, which on a grander scale, of course, they do.
Yeah.
But we also know that everyone hates the Empire.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can't get to the alliance unless all of these little cells that are trying to do something actually do something.
Yeah.
And so Ferrix and Aldani kind of are the spark that lights the fire that burns the First Order down.
The First Order to the ground or whatever, yeah.
You're right. So
yeah, Marva,
I think that's really great.
Marva has this speech at her funeral that she's recorded that kind of rallies the troops or whatever, which is awesome. And then big guy uses her brick to kill stormtroopers.
That was
which is pretty
sick.
Dope.
I bet she was like, hell yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I just took that guy out.
Yeah.
As a brick.
It's a great show, guys. You should watch
really,
it.
really good.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Don't take any of my negative talking as like I actually don't like it. I enjoyed every minute of it.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
So
Perfect.
the acting, the writing, the cinematography, it's all there.
It's all there.
Remake Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
And let Commander Cody be a part of it, please.
Yeah, scrap everything you got and start over.
We will all collectively forget that you made the first one and just redo it.
If you make a second one that's better, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
What a terrible show. Gosh.
Okay. Are we good on Andor?
Yep, we're good on Andor, I think.
Okay. I would like, before you get to your news segment.
Yes.
I would like to briefly mention that we didn't somehow mention the Black Panther Wakanda Forever score and soundtrack.
Yes.
In our episode.
What a failure on our part.
Somehow, some way.
Yeah.
We the music guys that have an entire episode dedicated to movie music completely skipped over Black Panther Wakanda Forever's score and soundtrack. Yeah. I have been obsessed with
it's
both.
Really good.
I have like 10 songs from that movie on my phone that I've been listening to at work day in, day out.
Wow.
So I just wanted to briefly mention that amazing, phenomenal.
Really good use of music in that movie. The first scene with the you see the they're out in the ocean and the people from Atlantis are there. What's it called? Talokan.
Talokan.
And you hear this like choral singing, and then you realize that it's actually happening in their world, and they hear it, and it's like this terrifying, beautiful sound that they're making that they use to like hypnotize people into jumping into the ocean. Terrifying. I loved it.
Scary stuff.
Yeah, it was awesome. They use music in great ways.
That scene, there's a shot with the leader of that group. I don't remember her name. I don't know if she had a name.
Namora.
No. The white
human.
girl. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she is running across this like bridge part over to the helicopter, and it reminded me of. Oh, is it Order of the Phoenix? When it's like one of the first shots of the movie with Neville and not Neville. Harry and his brother. What's his brother's name?
Oh, I have no idea.
Dudley?
That sounds right.
Yeah, they're running from the
Dementors.
The Dementors.
They suck the soul out of you, and hoit.
Yeah, they're running in the other direction, and I was like, I like that. That was the first time I thought to myself, I was like, oh, this is a film, not a movie. And I was like, I like the way that looks. That's good.
It looks great. It's a beautiful film.
So, good movie, good music. Alone by Burna Boy is the song that plays during when Shuri is making the heart-shaped herb. And it is remixed with another song, but they don't have that version anywhere. So I have to listen to the two songs separately and hum the other song when I'm listening to it, just to like remember. But really good stuff. Namor's theme song with the thing, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Really, really great. I love that
stuff.
So, just wanted to talk about that briefly. Go see that movie. Go see Strange World also. We're going to talk about it later.
Yeah.
Because we still haven't mentioned that we're going to do that.
Yeah, we're talking about Strange World today, guys. And if you're listening to this, you might not even know Strange World exists because most people in the entire world don't know that it exists. And a big part of that is it's a Disney movie. And Disney, as all companies, have a CEO, you know? And this week or last week, or I think actually it was even further back than that, maybe even 2 weeks.
Whoa, time travel.
Time travel. Bob, there's two Bobs in this picture. Bob Chapek and Bob Iger, okay? Two Bobs. Bob Iger was Disney CEO for many, many years, like When they bought Lucasfilm, that was Bob Iger. When they bought Pixar, that was Bob Iger. He's been there for a really long time.
Great
In 2020,
acquisitions.
Bob Iger handed the reins to Bob Chapek and retired. Bob Chapek came in and he started changing some things, and a lot of people didn't like what he was doing. People kind of hold him responsible for like things that are happening at the theme parks. Like they don't like the way that he's handled the parks, hiking prices and making people charge for extra things and that sort of thing. They don't like how he's handling Disney Plus. Probably a reason that Andor was not marketed well at all was because of him. And like he is like, he made a statement one time where he was like, animation is just for kids. And so we're going to focus on some other things. And this is the CEO of Disney, guys. Walt Disney Pictures, right? This is the CEO of Disney, and he's like, animation is lame and it's just for kids. So he's not a great fit, and this is probably also why Strange World was not marketed in any sort of way. I saw
even
one
though
trailer.
It's an animated movie for kids.
Yes, even that he doesn't care about. So, because it doesn't make as much money? I don't know. He was
not making much money this time.
He was the one deciding to dump things on Disney Plus, like those Pixar movies that came out, like Soul and, well, I guess it probably wouldn't. It wouldn't have been. Well, it probably was. It was probably Soul and Luca and Turning Red, those Pixar movies that could have killed in the box office.
Turning Red is supposedly really good, right?
It's pretty good, yeah. He just dumped them on Disney Plus because he didn't want to deal with whatever. I don't know whatever. But point is, people don't like what he's doing. And in a shocking turn of events, a couple weeks ago, they announced that Bob Chapek is out. He's out. We're getting rid of him, and we're not bringing somebody new in. We're bringing back Bob Iger. Bob Iger is back, everybody.
Bob Iger's back, everybody.
And he's not the best thing ever, but he's at least better than Bob Chapek. So there's not much else to say about it other than things that we talk about a lot, like marketing and all of that stuff in Disney. And Bob Chapek is also the reason that there are no Star Wars movies now. He was like, no more Star Wars movies. They're too much of a risk because Rian Johnson killed my childhood and that sort of thing. So we blame him for that as well. So he's out, which is good news because Bob Iger actually cares about animation, and he's really good friends with Kathleen Kennedy, which is good too, the head of Lucasfilm. And he actually seems to want creators to make art and stuff, which is good. It's all about money.
Interesting. That is interesting.
Like we talk about all the time. It's all money all the time. It doesn't matter who does what. The big boys in the chairs in the conference rooms are just about the money. But if you have people who actually care about giving Tony Gilroy the reins for Andor and that sort of thing, we'll get more things like Andor and less things like, I don't know, Kenobi. I don't
Disenchanted.
know. Disenchanted, yes, that's a better example. So that's good news. And we saw Strange World and it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I wish it was marketed better because it's actually all right. And it's not the best Disney movie I've ever seen, but it's really cute. It's really fun.
Yeah. I just wanted to briefly talk about the marketing. Well, you basically summed it up.
Yeah.
It wasn't marketed very well, if at all.
Nobody knows what it is. I'm telling people what did you do over the weekend? Oh, I saw Strange World. They're like, what is that? What is that?
Yeah.
Nobody knows what it is. Nobody knows that's out. Yeah.
I remember I went and saw Thor: Love and Thunder. Really, really great movie. Super fun.
Trash.
Taika Waititi is the funniest human being on earth.
Disagree. Hard disagree.
Almost as good as Star Wars: The Last Jedi, written and directed by Rian Johnson.
Yikes.
Really, really great Star Wars
kidding.
film.
He's kidding, guys.
And I went to Thor: Love and Thunder, and one of the trailers was for Strange World. This is the first time I saw the trailer, and I was like, "Oh, this looks cool! It's a unique world with a strange one,
It's strange.
even,
yeah, really strange."
and there's cool creatures and an interesting cast of characters, and it sounds like it's going to be this multi-generational family story about expectations for your children and how you see yourself and your kids and blah, 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 right? And I was like, wow, all this stuff in the trailer is really cool. I want to go see this movie. And the art and the posters and the everything about it seemed really interesting to me. And I was like, I want to see that. We should do an episode on that. Here we are doing it now, by the way.
Yes.
And then I never heard about it again.
No. Yeah.
It just disappeared. Only when I went to the movie theater over the last year did I see anything about this movie. Yet, I can go on my Twitter and scroll twice, and there will be an ad for the Disney Plus only movie.
Yeah.
Disenchanted, which is a sequel
every day I
to
see
a movie
that ad
from whatever other movie it was called. Enchanted, right? It was just called Enchanted with Amy Adams and McDreamy.
Yep. Patrick Dempsey.
It's actually is it actually McDreamy? I don't remember.
Is.
Oh no, he is in it. Yeah.
He's the prince or whatever.
First things first, Enchanted was a fun movie.
Yep.
I didn't hate it. And so I guess a sequel is great. But the fact that this Disney Plus thing is getting all this marketing because it's a sequel and they know it's a safe bet or whatever, but it's just on their streaming service and not in the theater where actual risks take place. And now Strange World is out at around the same time. There's no marketing at all. They stand to lose $100 million or whatever.
They've lost a lot of money, yeah.
Which, whatever, we can talk about money and blah, blah, blah. $100 million is so much money. You could do so much better with that much money.
Yeah.
But, whatever. That's my mom talking. Sorry. It's just, like, it seems so stupid to me. Something's going to show up on Disney Plus. You throw a couple commercials on the World Cup or something about this movie. It's a sequel. People know what Enchanted is. They're going to go watch it. You throw a bunch of ads about Strange World on kids' TVs on Disney XD. Does that still exist?
XD. Yeah, I think it does.
Whatever else, kids want to see cool kids movies. This is a cool, good kids movie with important lessons for children to learn.
Yeah.
And they just don't even care.
They don't even care.
And so both of us, our theater experiences were me and my parents, a kid and their mom in the back.
Yep.
The rest of the theater was completely empty. And Jordan went to the movie alone.
Yep. I went to
no one else.
To the Dolby Cinema. And the Dolby is it's like an IMAX, but it's dual 4K projection and lots of speakers and like underneath speakers and all of that stuff. It's a premium theater experience.
Nice.
And it's great. I if I go see a movie that I really want to enjoy to its full, I will go to the Dolby Cinema. The Batman in Dolby Cinema, because it has these rich 4K resolution and the black levels are so good. Like, the Batman was incredible to see in Dolby Cinema. Anyway, it's a premium theater experience. There's 150 seats in there. 150 seats. I was the only one in the theater. On a it was in the middle of the day. I went to a matinee or whatever. So there's that also. But like, Top Gun Maverick has been in theaters for months, and people still go to see it. It's been like
is it still in theaters? I should go see that.
Movies are in theaters now. Like Disney movies especially are in the theater for 2 months max. Right? Or something like that. Top Gun Maverick has been in there for, it feels like 6 months it's been in there. People go to see that movie every day. Because the marketing is really good. And it's a sequel and whatever. But yeah, I was literally the only one in the theater, which has never happened to me before. So even at matinee price. So that was just I didn't mind because I was just in there by myself and I walked around and I was like, oh, this is a big room. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, but it was just, it definitely made me see the truth that nobody is seeing this movie. I saw it with my own eyes, guys.
The truth.
It's not even, okay, when you open the Letterboxd app, okay, there are, for those who can see, these are all the movies that people are talking about this week. Strange World has never been on this top 15 or 20 movies that people are talking about. The Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special is number 3 on here. The 40-minute holiday special that got dumped on Disney Plus is being talked about thousands and thousands and thousands of more times than this big Disney movie that's in theaters. So
outrageous.
It's weird. It's really weird. But it's pretty good. So
it was a good movie. Yeah. And that's the worst part. I almost when we were walking in there, I was like, I hope this movie's bad. Yeah. Almost just so that I can justify their lack of marketing.
Yeah.
And be like, okay, they didn't want to push this movie. They knew they were going to lose a bunch of money, so they didn't want to spend more money marketing it and then have everybody review it and be bad. But it was a good movie, so I'm just even more mad that they're pumping out the disenchanted Twitter ad every 5 tweets.
Yeah.
And
Jake Gyllenhaal is the main character. Like, that's a marketable name. Jake Gyllenhaal. Yeah. People know who that is. So like,
I thought it was Paul Rudd. I totally heard Paul Rudd the whole time. That's funny.
And he has kind of a basic sounding voice, because I thought it was John Krasinski when I heard the trailer.
Oh, really?
And then I was like, is that Paul Rudd? No, that's Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal. Well, he's great.
Yeah.
And the movie was good.
It's really good.
Gosh darn it.
Spoiler free, man. It's a good movie. The plot is that these people get into a strange world, and they're like, whoa, this is strange, man.
It's very strange. Actually, I think one time they said it was an interesting place. And I was like, come on, guys. Just say the name of the movie.
Just say it.
We're in this amazing, interesting place.
Yeah.
And I was like, in my head, I was like, you could go in a strange world.
Yeah.
And I was like, but they didn't do that. And I was a little disappointed that they didn't.
There's some really good ideas in it. And like, it has a pretty generic plot, like character development. Like it's the same kind of like father-son, daddy issues that are in a lot of movies all the time. But there are some really fun, like, world ideas. There was a moment where I was like, "Oh, dude, that's dope." Close to the end, it's like, "Dude, nice going.
That's dope.
That's dope, man." What else do you want to say about it before we break it down, piece by piece?
Yeah, I was okay. One of the things that I was very excited about when I first saw the trailer at Thor: Love and Thunder by Taika Waititi.
Yeah.
I was excited because it was a unique, a strange world. I was excited for the strange world part.
Yes.
I was like, oh, this is going to be cool. Anyone who watches this podcast knows I'm obsessed with world building and being able to flesh out the finer details of a story.
A strange world.
So I was excited
building,
that this was going to have interesting, unique things. And so, if I'm being honest, until, and this, well, is this a spoiler? I don't know. I'm not going to literally say what happens, but there's a point in the movie when it's revealed what's going on, and it's dope, as Jordan said.
Yeah, it is dope.
But it kind of made it lame for me, in a way, because
it makes you like want, you want more of that from the start. Like if we would have known.
Yeah,
that.
if I knew what was happening, I would have been more interested in, or like tried to understand what's going on, and like on a repeat watch. Now that I know the thing, I'll be able to point out all the little details and be like, "Oh, that's cool. Those are these. This is that." Right, and it's great. But it takes so long to get there. And I think part of that is because I watch anime, and anime explains everything the moment it happens in excruciating detail, to a fault, almost entirely every single time they explain, or take an entire episode to talk about a character's haircut. You know what I mean? Like it's a whole separate issue.
Yeah.
But I love it that way because then I can learn every possible detail about the world and really fall into it. This is a Disney movie for children. I understand that's not what's going to make kids like this movie and sell the lunchbox or whatever. Do lunchboxes still exist?
People got to eat, you know? They got to take it in a box to school.
I have my lunchbox that I use at work is a Les Schwab bag.
A Les Schwab. I don't know what that
so.
is.
I think that's a tire company in the Pacific Northwest. I think it's
cool.
Le Schwab. Yeah.
Interesting.
Le
You should get a
Schwab.
Strange World lunchbox instead.
I should get a Strange World lunchbox. That'd be so
Market
funny.
that thing, yeah.
I should get a Thor: Love and Thunder lunchbox.
Yeah, they probably made some good lunchboxes. The branding
Exactly.
was
The art is so great.
good. Yeah.
If only the movie was.
I need
as
to
good as I
force
think it
myself
is.
to watch that again so I can
Yeah.
talk with some authority. If it's really as bad. Authority?
Authority.
Anyway.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So I, as a world building aficionado expert, was a little disappointed
Yeah.
that it took so long to get to the details that I was looking forward to.
Mm.
But that's setting expectations before watching the thing. So that's really my own fault,
Yeah.
not the film's fault.
Oh, well.
I really liked the performances
Mhm.
and the character, the way that the characters spoke. Not to say that the writing was good, but it felt like a therapy session. All of the characters were using I statements. There's a scene where they're literally like, I appreciate, and they're like emphasizing the word I, which is such a therapy thing.
Mhm.
And so I was just laughing at myself, at the movie, not at myself.
Laughing at myself.
I was laughing to myself.
Yeah.
At how like obvious they were being, which is like, again, it's a kid's movie. They have to make it palatable for children to understand the lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Or there's like a point when the mom of the main character is like, you need to really search your own feelings and understand and come to your own conclusions. And I'm like, oh, maybe,
I
you're
should do
right.
that. Yeah.
And I was like, that's great. But I, as a human being, I thought that was good for kids to be able to have that very literal, like, here's the lesson you should learn. Bop, hit you in the face with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was good, because sometimes the kids' movies are very vague when they try to make that stuff. And that can be good for complex themes, but for kids' movies, when they're trying to, like, think for yourself, like, you can...
Don't be mean to people.
Yeah, you don't have to embellish that stuff.
Yeah. So
I thought it was good that they were a little obvious with it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just me.
So yeah, it's a fun time at the movies. Is it
Go to the movies, guys.
Is it art or is it fart, Joshua? What do you think? Is it a big fart?
If it's a fart, it's the best smelling fart I've ever seen. But or smelt. I would say it's art. It's fine.
Yeah, it is. It is definitely art, I think.
Yeah.
I think that the animation is obviously stunning.
Stunning.
It's a very expensive movie. It lost $100 million, so that's as much money as they spent on it. The animation is beautiful. Yeah, we can go into spoilers now. The one thing I was like, the movie starts with a 2D animated sequence where it's like, it starts with, it's like you're going through a comic book, like this character, the dad of this guy, Jaeger Clade is his name. Mm-hmm. He's kind of this like comic book explorer guy, and there's this 2D animated sequence where it kind of looks like Spider-Verse type thing because it's like got those comic book dot type things. Right. And I was like, dude, make this the whole movie. All you have to do to make more people see this is make it look like this for the entire time. Because the animation in the whole movie is stunning and it looks great, but it also looks exactly the same as the past few Disney movies. All the character models look like Disney characters and whatever. Mm-hmm. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but like you could do something a little bit more unique, I would think.
I think that's a trend with Disney movies is that this like new generation of 3D models have all like they all move like fluidly.
Yeah.
They always have like super
exaggerated
limbs.
Features.
Yeah.
And we've said before, like we believe in the resurgence of 2D animation. It's going to happen soon. It will happen soon. It's already kind of happening. We're in the beginning stages of it, and it will happen. So I want that to happen sooner. I enjoyed that little sequence at the beginning. Mm-hmm. What happens in the movie? What's the plot rundown?
Oh my gosh. Do I get to do a plot rundown?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so Jaeger Clade, which is
Yeah.
just one of the coolest names ever, by the way.
It's a dope name.
Jaeger means hunter in German.
Whoa. No way.
Yeah.
Like Vader means father in German.
Yeah. Wow.
But that apparently
we
was
not see it coming?
unintentional, I guess.
Yeah.
George Lucas was like, oh, I didn't know that. Sounded cool to me, man.
I mean, that'd be pretty crazy if he didn't think of that, and then it literally is like the biggest spoiler ever.
I think that's what happened. I think he just did it on accident. Yeah.
Wow. Anyway,
Jaeger Clade.
So there's this world, right? It's strange.
It's
but right now it's
world.
normal.
Oh,
it's a normal world.
Is it our world?
This people live on an Earth-like planet.
Earth-like.
And there's this ring of never-ending, endless mountains. And it's impossible to survive a journey to the other side of these mountains.
Yes.
Right? Jaeger Clade says, no. I shall conquer these mountains.
Mountains, yes.
And I'm going to take my son, named Searcher, with me. And we're going to do it big. And we're going to cross these mountains.
Only Jaeger Clade would name his son Searcher. I mean, that's such a Jaeger thing to do.
Seriously, Jaeger. What the heck? And so they go to cross these mountains, and they have a couple other scientist-like people, I think, with them, and they're trained and whatever. They're going to go see what's out there on the other side of the mountains.
What's on the other side?
And so they're going out there, and there's an avalanche or something, and Searcher
falls down a hole or something.
He's like 12 or 13. He's young.
Yeah, he's young.
He falls. Jaeger saves him, and in the path that they end up on, Searcher finds these plants that have electricity, and they have generate power.
They're glowing.
And so they have an argument about the seeds of this plant and what it means, and it turns out that they're talking about Jaeger only wants to go across these mountains. Searcher is like, this isn't me, I'm not you, right? Let's see what these plants that make electricity can do instead. And so they have an argument. The dad, Jaeger, just leaves. He's like, screw that. I'm going to abandon my child real quick and go cross these mountains because that matters more to me.
Yeah.
And so 25 years pass.
Whoa.
And 150 years of technological advancement take place. And they have hover planes and every fun, cute little sci-fi technology.
They call it Pando?
Pando.
Pandemonium.
Yes. Yeah. Pandemonium. That's a card.
Yeah.
Shout out Unicorns. That's a great game.
Oh.
Anyway. What are you talking about?
I don't know.
Oh, I said that's a card and you said yeah. So I thought you knew what I was talking about.
Nope.
Okay.
I was faking.
Dang. He was faking. We're going to have to play that sometime. I'll bring it around.
Sounds good.
So 25 years pass. Searcher is a father. His son is named Ethan. Shout out Ethan.
Shout out.
What a guy. And they're a cute family. They're farmers. And the Panoma. No, why do I keep calling that?
Panoma.
Pando. I don't know what I'm doing. Pando is, there's like a plague. The demi-dogs are underneath the ground eating the pumpkins.
The pumpkins are rotting. Yeah.
And
it's wild.
They're like, we got to find... So turns out these plants are all connected to one large root system, which doesn't make any sense when they took the plants from this other thing and grew them in their town.
Right.
How did the roots... Okay. Doesn't matter.
We'll let it slide this time.
We'll let it slide.
Yeah.
So they find this huge hole in the ground where the roots are going into, and they're going to take this airship and this crew, and they're going to go down this hole and get to the heart of their roots. of the Pando, and they're going to cure it so that they can have their electricity again. Because they're at risk of losing electricity.
Yeah, their whole infrastructure runs off this stuff. So,
which is crazy. So, they go down there.
Renewable energy, man.
It was pretty great.
Yeah.
And so they go down there, and halfway down they get attacked by these pterodactyl-looking things. And the pilot of the ship gets Jurassic Parked.
Yeah.
Straight up
dies.
He gets, like,
eaten.
literally straight up eaten.
Yeah.
They pull him out. He is never seen again.
Nope.
Just, he's dead.
Dead.
Crazy. I was like, surely they have to bring this guy back. I was obsessed. He never returns. He's killed.
Yeah.
Which is, I think it's hilarious because 20 minutes earlier in the movie, this giant icicle falls on this random guy, and then he's just behind it, and they do like the whole little, oh, that was close.
Wink.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. But then 20 minutes later, this guy definitely
straight up gets eaten by
probably
an animal.
eaten to death.
Yeah.
So that happened.
Wild.
Kind of crazy. I was like, wow. That's wild.
Yeah.
So he gets killed. And they keep flying down this airship eventually.
Nobody reacts to it either. They're just like...
Yeah, no one even remembers.
They don't even care. Yeah.
They're just like, I guess you'll be piloting now.
We lost our dear friend. They're just like...
No one...
Move on.
Literally, there isn't even a mourning.
Nobody says anything about it.
Just, he is killed.
Wow.
And then the writers also forgot about him. They're
Yeah.
like, dang, this guy's gone. Super hilarious. I was laughing out loud. It was great. So they get down to the bottom of this hole, and they find a strange world underneath their world.
Yep.
And it's
strange.
this beautiful moment. Jurassic World, Strange World, all this stuff is going down.
Well, they do crash, so it's
okay. Yeah, they crash.
It's not
ultimately.
like a Jurassic Park. Wow, look at this! Pull the glasses up.
Welcome.
It's like, they crash, and a bunch of them are separated. Let's see what happens. Who gets? It's just Searcher
is separated
gets launched
from the crew, and then Ethan, the son, is like, I'm not going to sit here and wait to fix this thing. I'm going to go get him. And so he runs away with the hoverboard to find his dad. Searcher finds his father as well out in the wilderness of this strange world.
What?
He's alive.
What?
And he's got a flamethrower with infinite fire.
Yeah. He has to reload at one point, but
I guess at the end
yeah.
of this huge battle. He's
fire.
just down in this strange world, literally burning everything.
Yep.
Also, rewind to the hole where that the pilot was eaten in.
Mm-hmm.
The leader of this city is just stabbing things with knives, which normally swords are used all the time in kids' movies because swords are cool and you can sell swords.
Yep.
But they'll hit people with the hilt. They won't ever stab something. But there's like moments where she stabs things and juices are coming out.
Yep.
And I was like, wow. No holds barred, baby.
These beautiful creatures that we just discovered. Yeah, we are killing them.
Just straight stabbing. And later in the movie, they use like biological warfare.
Yeah.
And are spraying deadly gas.
Yeah.
Like, this movie does not care about your kids.
Care about your kids, man.
Hype. They're like,
they're not 13, get out.
This is banned by the Geneva Convention. You know? It's awesome.
Yeah, right.
So he's burning everything. And it just regrows immediately behind him. But he's burning stuff. He's burning all these things. And Jaeger's like, what's up? I just found this place. I'm still trying to get across the mountains.
Yeah.
But I found this cool world. Literally the most amazing
discovery.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Literally the greatest discovery in human existence.
Yeah.
You found an entire new ecosystem below you.
Yeah.
He's like, I want to get across these mountains because that's all I care about. And
this is lame. I want to see what's behind those mountains, bro.
Right. And so they get back together. All the crew gets back together. and they start following these roots down to the source, because they're going to find the source of the roots. And they have a lot of talks about family and expectations for their children and what it means to be a father.
Did you like the card game sequence when they're all playing a card game together?
I thought it was kind of funny.
They're like playing Catan or something.
Yeah.
I know how much you like card games, so
I do like a good card game.
Yeah.
So I can appreciate it. I was trying to learn the rules.
Like how you have experiences where you're trying to teach like your grandpa and your dad how to play a game, and you're like, this is silly, and like, why can't I just do this? You know?
Yeah.
They're like, why can't I kill this thing? It's like, this game isn't about killing, Dad.
It's not even about killing.
You can't kill in this game, Dad. Ugh. Anyway.
Yeah. So they're moving down these root systems, and you kind of notice as the viewer, well, I did anyway, as a guy who pays attention to stupid things, I noticed that the roots looked dumb, and they always were out of place. Every single other thing in this world looked like
purposeful.
It should have been there, you know? But this root was like on the roof, it's scraggly, it's glowing, it's not even close to any of the other colors going on. Meanwhile, everything in this world is trying to kill our crew as they fly through, except for this little blue guy named Splat.
Well, he's trying to kill them at first, but
he does initially tries to kill them, tries to lure Ethan to the Reapers.
The Reapers, yeah.
Very, of course, Jaeger would.
What are those things in The Force Awakens that are on Han Solo's ship?
Oh yeah,
the very that. Not the Borg gullet. The you have Rathars on this thing? Yeah.
I'm hauling Rathars. Yeah.
Indiana Jones 5
yeah,
trailer.
Absolutely.
Good stuff.
Also dropped. Poor guy.
He's
they got to
old.
de-age him.
Yeah. Even when he's his own age, they have to de-age him. Right. Anyway, go on.
So they eventually find the root system in this crystal space, and they see that everything that's been trying to kill them is trying to kill this root system, and they're like, what the heck? Why are these things trying to kill this thing? We gotta kill them.
Stop them.
So and along the way, they notice that the Pando is able to like stun and kill the beasts that are trying to kill them. So they turn them into a crushed powder gas and spray them with this chlorine gas, just killing things.
Efficient,
right? Very,
murder
very
weapon.
efficient. Great.
Yeah.
And so that's going down, and Ethan and his father, Searcher, have an argument, a very, very similar argument to the one that Searcher had with his father.
Generational trauma.
Literally,
yeah.
And Ethan runs away, and he finds the other side of the mountains.
What?
And he gets out there, and it's just water.
What?
And I'm like, whoa, it's Interstellar.
Yeah.
And then he turns around, and the island that he's been living on turns out is its own living thing.
What?
And everything we've been traveling through was its innards.
A big
and you start to realize,
and you're like,
an
whoa.
eyeball opens, and it's like,
yeah,
and
a big turtle.
Yeah, it's a huge turtle, which is cool.
Very anime. Big turtle.
It's like Avatar.
Yeah.
And so, The Last Airbender.
That's right. Not technically.
And so, nice. Very true. Good.
Yeah,
well done.
I know things.
And so he finds out that it's a living being, and the Pando is like an infection.
Yeah, like a virus.
And so it's attached to the turtle's heart, and it's sapping its life force energy.
Yep.
And so they decide, okay, we're going to kill the Pando, and we're just going to be without power, I guess. we'll have to figure out something else.
Yeah.
And so
Fossil
they
fuels.
they have a couple arguments with the other people that are trying to save the Pando because they haven't seen the outside, blah blah. What is that? What's that story with the people in the cave and the shadows?
You lost me. I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about.
Nope.
I could go into detail, but I'm gonna skip it. It's fine.
Yeah.
Dang, I wish I knew what that was called. It's gonna annoy me.
Yeah.
So they eventually convince everyone to kill the Pando. They kill it, and they think that the monster or the turtle is gonna be dead. But then these little guys come and heal it, and it's vibrant and it's alive, and the turtle is happy. And they go home and they discover wind power, and it's fine.
Yep, everything's fine.
Literally great. Okay.
So cool.
So you have this great story about family with a very minimalistic movie plot about saving a turtle.
Yep.
Which is a metaphor for our own planet, probably.
Oh, yeah. You would think.
Also, sad thing, just for me, it was very sad to see only one turtle on this giant blue marble. They zoom out at the end of the movie.
Yeah, he's just hanging out there
and it's just one turtle on Earth.
Yeah.
And he's got this island or whatever on his back. So sad.
Yeah, why
to
does
not
that have
see
to be
any
like
other
that?
turtles with other worlds on them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It could have so easily been like, check it out. There's other planets on our planet. We could have had a sequel, Stranger World, right?
Yep.
That didn't happen.
Maybe it was on the other side of the planet.
I guess there is another side of the planet.
Who knows?
Because
the dark
Earth
side
is round, not flat.
Yeah. So they say.
Right. We have video proof. It's round.
Doctored video evidence.
I'm not going to have this argument. The Earth is a sphere. Spheroid.
Okay.
Venus is closer to a sphere than Earth. We're kind of oblong, but we're definitely not flat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
If we were 2D, we wouldn't.
The Earth is a donut.
Oh, okay.
And within that donut is a hole. But the donut hole isn't a hole at all. It's its own donut with its own hole. What's that from?
Whoa. It's from Knives Out. Come on now. So, yeah. I was just disappointed that there wasn't another turtle.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad.
It was also like they stopped animating when they showed that because it like pans out and it doesn't look that good to me. I was like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
Like gave up, but it was okay. It's a good movie, I guess.
Yeah, it was. I mean, yeah, it was. I had to check myself a couple times that I know it's a kids movie, not marketed to anyone.
Yeah,
but it was made for kids to learn lessons about parents and for parents to learn how to talk to their kids.
Yeah,
and all that sort of stuff. So at the end of the day, I get it. It's a good movie, right? For children. It wasn't amazing for me, right? But I can.
It was a fun time.
It's art, as they say.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed it. I had fun with it.
It's worth.
My dad
seeing
laughed at everything.
It'll be on Disney Plus in like a week, though. So
probably they're gonna take it out of theaters and put it on there, and then start advertising it. Probably.
Yeah, for sure.
Use Disney Plus.
Use Disney Plus, man.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot written down. I really like the world, and like you said, we find out that all of the creatures are essentially like they function as this creature is part of the immune system, or this creature is part of like the blood flow, and like these creatures act as like different parts of internal workings of this creature's body, which is really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And so it makes you like these aren't just disgusting creatures that are trying to kill you. Like they're just doing their jobs, man. They're just going to work.
Blood cells or red blood cells and.
I like that idea.
As a health science major,
yeah,
I was able to pick out a couple things. There's red blood cells that are like in this colony. They fly through the air, and I did notice at the beginning that they were purple, and then they bit something or like ate something and they turned red, which when you know that they're red blood cells, it's very obvious that like, okay, this is a red blood cell. It's getting oxygen from the thing. The oxygen and the iron turns to rust, which is red. That's how you get that color of your blood. It's red because the oxygen, the rust, and the iron, and blah, 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 right?
Yeah. Yep.
So they, it was cool. Like I thought back on that and I was like, oh, cool. They did that with us knowing that it was going to be a turtle later. They have all these details retroactively. Like when I watch the movie again, I'm not going to care about anything else. I'm going to be paying attention to every detail and trying to like fully understand this turtle's body.
Yeah, right.
And like learn what I'm looking at and what the metaphorical part of our body system is what's going on in there. So yeah, like I said in the spoiler-free intro part of this episode, I didn't like the world building because it took too long for them to give us the most important detail of what was happening. And so I watch it again, I'll enjoy it more because I'm gonna know what's actually happening.
Yeah.
Right? Which is interesting because that's the exact opposite of my Andor reasons for not watching. It's because I already know everything. Yeah. But this is a
strange
it's a kids movie. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah. So I thought they waited too long to give the most important part of what was happening, which, it's not a mystery, right? Of like what this strange world is. It's just like people are there. They're trying to find the Pando. They kind of accept everything that's happening to them as like, this is, we're just fixing the Panda. Whatever's going on down here is important. So it's definitely a background thing, but that the way that they started the marketing was like travel brochures and come check out the strange world. And then everybody was just kind of like, yeah, it's a strange world.
Yeah.
Let's go find the Pando.
Let's go.
Let's go across.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they first get there, they're not like mind blown. They're just like, wow, this is strange. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go, guys. Try not to die.
And I'm not the kind of guy that just I don't want movies to be like, check out this cool thing. All the characters go ooh ah like Harry Potter.
Yeah.
But I would like them to at least give us a moment to look at things, right? There is like one shot right at the beginning when they crash and they kind of give us some B-roll footage of the world.
Yeah.
And then we're just chilling for the rest of the movie.
Right.
On this airship flying towards the route.
Yeah.
So. But I liked it.
That's good. Go see it in theaters if you can. If you want. Take your kids. Yeah.
Take your
children.
Whoever
has kids. We already declared that it is art. I don't have much else to say about it, so might be about time to give us your recommendations here. We got a couple things written down. I have a couple. So,
I was on a plane, having an existential crisis about my appearance.
You look great, man.
And thank you. This shirt is incredibly comfortable.
That's good.
And it makes me feel comfortable in my own skin.
I like that.
Positivity, people. Okay, Anyway, I downloaded a Netflix film called All Quiet on the Western Front.
What?
Which is a book that was adapted to screen 3 times now. I've learned that there have been 3 versions of this movie.
Oh, wow.
One in like the 80s and one in like 1930 or something.
Whoa.
It's a World War I movie about German soldiers. Not a word of English in the entire movie.
Cool. I've heard it's pretty intense.
It's Germans versus the Franks of France. And
French.
The French, yes. And so it's about 4 German soldiers, and they are too young or their parents don't want them to go, and they all forge their documents so that they can go on this war and have a fun adventure, which it sounds like a lot of soldiers in World War I were like, let's go, guys, it's going to be fun.
Huh.
And we're gonna kill some bad guys, and we're all gonna live, and no one's gonna die or be dismembered, and everything's gonna be great.
Those poor guys.
And that's not what happens.
Yeah.
And they're literally like all prim and proper and like singing some song about women as they're marching out to this battlefield. And Yeah, all was not quiet on the Western Front.
Yikes.
Okay.
Yikes, guys.
Yeah, so it's a very masterfully done movie about humans and how bad war is and how people manipulate other people into doing their stupid wars. Blah blah blah. You can go all day about it. I'm not going to spoil it. You should watch it. It is a war movie, and there are, blood and gore, people getting shot in the head and just falling over. Stuff like that. It's not for the faint of heart. So proceed with caution. Yeah, but I thought it was pretty good. I've been on kind of a war movie. Every time I'm on a plane, I'm gonna watch a war movie. So I watched, Imitation Game, 1917 again. That's funny. 17 again. I watched 1917 again.
Yeah,
that was great. Thanks. I'll be here all week.
Jokes.
What was that other movie I watched? Munich or something like that, I think.
Oh yeah, you told me about that.
That was good.
I think.
There was another one though. I don't remember.
Who
but
knows?
I've been watching. Saving Private Ryan.
Oh yeah,
I watched that this year.
The most famous one.
That one was pretty good. Actually, really good. That's a good movie. So I know a thing or two about war movies, guys. I've been watching them all year.
Wow.
And this one, maybe I'll do a ranking or something.
There you go.
This one was pretty good. The other thing I watched just last night was the first episode of Willow. Which is a Disney Plus exclusive TV show.
Aren't there 2 episodes out?
Series. There are 2 episodes. I'll watch the other one. I just watched the first one.
Okay, cool.
Yesterday. I was so tired yesterday. I didn't finish it, and then I watched the last 10 minutes this morning. It is a sequel, reboot story, TV show based on a movie from the 90s?
1988, I'm seeing here.
1988.
Yeah.
Wow, okay. The late 80s. Starring Warwick Davis.
Yeah.
Who's great. And it's like high fantasy wizards and swords and magic and knights and stuff like that.
A Lucasfilm project.
Yes, it's a Lucasfilm project. So it's, there's some hype for it. It's been advertised, so better than Strange World already. And I watched the first episode, and I gotta say, guys, we talked earlier about Andor being the best thing on Disney Plus, and this one is not competing for that title. Not competing.
Oh, you hated it?
I didn't hate it.
Oh.
I loved it.
Oh.
But it is bad.
Oh. Confusing.
Yes. So, okay. Here's the thing. I'm not gonna spoil it, but I'm gonna tell you right now. This movie was written by a millennial. And you watch this episode, and you will know exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Okay, so the guy who plays Flash Thompson in the new Spider-Man movies is in this show.
Ew, I don't like him.
And he plays this prince who's like a wimp. And
sounds right.
I don't remember exactly what he said, but he's like, there's like a fight, and these assassins come to kidnap someone, and he's like, "Oh, no way," or something like that. And it's just so many times in this high fantasy magic wizards knights world that people are talking, like someone says it was not the vibe or something. Like they literally sound like humans from Earth in 2020.
That's funny.
Like so many times and it was like, this is one of the first times I felt myself notice writing and like being like, this is poorly written.
Yeah.
And then one time, you guys, this was really dumb. There's like, well, okay, I have 2 more things. So, there's a moment where a scene is ending, or like they're in the middle of this sequence, right? And it cuts to the next shot, and the audio is just 5 decibels louder after this cut, and you
Really?
hear like a tick, and the sound goes up,
No way.
and it's literally the same. Oh my goodness,
Goose is
Goose is
knocking
attacking
my microphone.
It's like, it's just like there's a shot for shot cut, like just a regular cut, but for some reason the audio is also cut. It's the same song,
That's
the
wild.
audio hasn't changed, it's the same track, and it's just suddenly louder.
Huh.
And I was like, it was a very obvious, like, I rewinded, I was like, did that happen or was that my phone? And it just was just like a boom.
That's crazy.
It was the weirdest thing.
But you're recommending it because you love it?
I'm going to watch every minute of this show.
Nice.
Because it's a train wreck already.
Heck yeah.
And I love it. It's a dumpster fire you can't look away from.
Nice.
The main character is a trained swordsman. She takes a bow and arrow for her adventure. You know what I mean? Like, she fights with a sword in the beginning. Like, one of the first scenes of the show, she fights the other main character with a sword, and then she leaves with a bow.
No way.
And I'm like,
we should watch
what
this
happened
together
here?
For sure.
I'll watch the first episode with you.
I'll have a hard
It's
time
hilarious.
watching it by myself. That's for sure.
I was like, this I have to see. And Warwick Davis showed up, and he's a good actor.
Yeah.
But he definitely didn't know his lines because he looked like he was reading off a teleprompter.
That's awesome.
I was like, oh no. Oh no.
Oh no. Isn't the girl from Falcon Winter Soldier in it? Miss I'm Gonna Burn the World Down from that show?
I don't remember.
Anyway.
I'm Gonna Burn the World Down.
She's also Infus Nest.
Oh, yes. Yes, absolutely, yes. You're correct.
Yeah. Well, I'll get around to it. We should watch it together.
Yeah, we'll watch it together. That'll be fun. I don't know.
What's
Yes, Aaron Kellyman.
Aaron Kellyman. What are we doing next week, I wonder?
What are we doing next week? Let's find out.
What the heck are we doing?
X-Men ranking, I think, is what we have on there.
Oh, yeah.
That's not going to happen. Oh, no. We said we were going to do a game night.
Oh, that's right. We're going to do games. Games.
We're going to bring back the game night. We're going to, let's take this opportunity. If you're still here, an hour and a half in.
They're here,
If you're still here, you're right. For people that are, may not have watched the previous game night episode, I don't think we marketed it very well.
We didn't know how to market it, yeah.
It's not...
We need
us
Bob
playing video games.
Yeah.
It's us playing games with each other that we made up that you can also play.
Like your trivia. Stuff like that.
Yeah. So I was thinking about doing Harry Potter trivia.
Oh.
But I don't know how much you know.
No, I know nothing.
So
that would be fun.
Probably going to ex-nay that one.
Expelliarmus.
Nice. What does that spell do?
Give me your wand, man.
More or less, yes. Disarming.
Yeah,
I think.
They always say
do it just right.
Expelliarmus, and then they drop their wand.
Yeah, you're right. Yes, disarm.
Yeah.
So, we're gonna figure out some games to play. You can play along, so you don't have to. It's not just us playing video games. If you want to watch us playing video games, heyo. You can check out my YouTube channel, Razumafu, which now we have handles. So it is youtube.com/Razumafu.
Wow.
RAZAMUPHU.
Very nice.
You can just type that right in there.
And
I'll show up.
Yep.
So that's
We're playing
exciting.
Overwatch over there.
We've been playing a lot of Overwatch. We're popping off. And Jordan is actually playing a video game without me, which proves that he is enjoying it, which makes me happy to see him playing a game that I showed him without me.
Yep.
Not like he's
pretty fun.
Yeah, so it's a fun game. Noah, if you're listening to this, I want to play it with you. I don't know why you're not interested. You put like 1,000 hours in the first game or something. Not 1,000 hours, but he played the game a lot, so I'm bummed that he's not even attempting to play this game.
Come on, man.
So freaking pick it up. Let's play.
Yeah, we'll
It's
do
free.
games next week. We'll do some
Mhm.
trivias. We'll do something, maybe some Christmas themed things. Who knows?
Oh.
But the week after that, we're gonna do our favorite Christmas movies. I don't know how we want to format that. If we want to do our top 10, top 5 Christmas movies, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll talk about some Christmas movies. How's that sound, guys? How's that
Christmas.
sound? Because it'll be Christmas, and then we're gonna take 2 weeks off because holidays,
Mm-hmm.
and we're not gonna want to do this stuff. And I'm going to be out of town and whatever. So 2 weeks off. And then when we come back, we'll have some movies to talk about. Avatar: The Way of Water will have come out.
We'll probably talk about Glass Onion as well.
Glass Onion.
Maybe.
Way of Water. Yeah. But then we are going to, do we want to call it season 2 is what we're doing? Maybe
Should we?
Maybe not. Maybe we should save that.
I don't know if
later.
I feel like season 2 starts in April.
April? Yeah. But what we are going to do is we're going to start our annual awards show, our Quarter Twins specific award show we're calling the Quarters.
The Quarters.
Yeah, as opposed to the Oscars or something. We're the
Mhm.
Quarters. We're giving people quarters for being good at stuff.
Right?
So we're going to...
It was originally going to be the Twinsies.
Yes.
That was the original name
like the Dundies
that I
or
wrote
something.
down.
Yeah.
Right? And I thought, that's lame. Or, I didn't discuss it at all with Jordan. Let's see what he thinks. And then I also brought up the Quarters. And then when I thought to myself, when they win, they'll get a quarter.
Yep.
It was over.
They'll
That
get a
was
quarter.
it. It had to be the Quarters.
Yep.
What is the Quarters?
The Quarters is a very professional award show that we're putting together. We will be issuing invitations to cast and crew of all of our favorite movies. We'll have some guest star appearances. No, I don't know. It's just going to be us. We're going to be...
Dressed
I guess
nicely.
we haven't really discussed everything yet, but in my head, we are going to do like Oscar categories type things. We're going to have some nominations. We're each going to nominate movies, I guess. And then I guess we're going to have to agree on which one wins because we can't give quarters to two people.
Maybe what we do is at the end of The Way of Water, we have all the nominees, and then we can do polls.
Oh, we can do some polls, yeah.
And on Instagram, because it's not going to work on Anchor. I don't think anybody interacts with that.
No,
on
you
Anchor.
can do it on Instagram.
Some people interact on Instagram. We can do some polls and see what people are thinking, and then we can do the official Oscars. The quarters, excuse me.
That is trademarked.
My bad.
I'm sure.
We can do the actual quarters 2022 and come with the awards.
Yeah. So we're talking best actor, best actress, best picture, best visual effects, best costume design, best score.
Are we going to do all 24
things.
categories?
We should, yeah.
I don't know what a screenplay is.
The screenplay. What is a screenplay?
I know what a screenplay is, but how do you judge a screenplay? You know what I mean?
Like, because you have to have the screenplay, I guess, because it's like best translation
if you read the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're going to be doing that in the new year, 2023.
And we'll also have some like non-Oscar categories so that it's at least a little bit unique. Biggest flop, that sort of thing.
Flop.
Some fun stuff. Funniest joke.
I would also like to do I guess this will function as like our favorite movies of 2022, but we could do like a top 10 of 2022 or something like that.
Right.
At some point. So. Which I have a feeling, Avatar: Way of Water might be up there. So.
Oh my gosh.
We will see.
I watched the trailer. My parents have not seen the first one.
Oh my goodness.
So we're going to have to amend that.
I didn't even like the first one until like a couple months ago. So.
The first one? I watched that trailer yesterday. I went and saw Strange World yesterday. I've seen this trailer 100 times by now.
It's beautiful.
It's so good.
It is so good.
Every time.
Masterful trailer. The music is so good.
Yes.
Yeah.
James Cameron.
It's going to be 3 hours and 12 minutes long, guys. Ridiculous.
I
love it.
I saw a tweet. This guy was like, viewers are concerned that it's going to be a long movie. You're going to have to take a bathroom break or something. When should people take bathroom breaks? And James Cameron said they can take a bathroom break whenever, and they'll catch the scene the next time they go see the movie, because they're gonna go see the movie again. And I was like,
he's crazy.
Yeah.
He also said, he was like, somebody asked him, like, would you ever hand over Avatar to another director? And he was like, I would have to train them, because I don't care how good of a director you are, you don't know how to make these movies. I was like, wow, this guy is off his rocker, this guy. But only he can say these things, because he has the authority to say them, because he's true.
Yeah, literally.
He's telling the truth. He's the only one who makes these movies.
He's the most like winning director of all time.
Yeah, Mr. Titanic.
He made Titanic and Avatar.
Aliens,
the highest grossing
Terminator
film
2.
ever.
Yeah, so
he's the GOAT.
He is, I guess. The first Avatar, it's too long. It's too long.
It's a 10 out of 10.
It's not 10 out of 10.
It's the perfect film.
There's about
my best movie.
There's like 30 minutes. It's like 30 minutes too long, I think. 15 minutes too long, I'll say. I'll take it out of 15. It's too long. It's way too long.
I think it's 45 minutes too short.
The interior of all the ships are too clean. It doesn't look real. It doesn't look real. Takes me out of the experience. Okay, those are my qualms.
Wow, I think you're lying.
I'm not lying.
You love the
I'm
movie
telling the
more
truth.
than
I love it, but it's like it's not perfect. So anyway, this has been an episode of Quarter Twins. Thank you all for listening so much. Go see some Strange Worlds. Go back and see Wakanda Forever again. You missed your window to see Glass Onion. I know none of you saw it.
I missed it, dude.
I'm disappointed.
I'm
in
bummed.
You.
I was in Colorado.
It's gonna be.
We went and saw Black Panther for the second time with my sister, so we didn't get to see Glass Onion.
It's gonna be on Netflix here in a few days, so that's okay.
Isn't it on the 23rd or something?
I've seen it, and it's really good. It's really good, guys. It's really good.
Who did it?
What's his name? Ryan Johnson did it. He did it.
Oh, he did it.
He did it.
He came out of the...
He killed my childhood, so...
Wow.
That's for sure.
He resurrected mine.
Yeah, for sure. We will talk to you guys next week about nothing. We'll be playing games next week, so join us for that. And have a great day.
Oh,
goodbye.
nice.
Forever.
See ya. Oh.
Not forever. Goodbye for now.